Okiye Bugbo Yino Kawe Juju Power. Everybody greet everybody. Alafia.
Alafia ni.
Awati Day. Ni ILE, Texas. In a great place called Missouri City. Not too far from Galveston, Texas. And in the region, of course, of Houston. And I want to talk to you about something that is important in regards to our culture. If you go to a new town, traditionally, you will never set up and start working and doing things without going and saluting the chiefs in that town and that place and showing respect there. So I'm here because my daughter has moved over this way. So just here visiting family, but I'm always thinking about you, Juju Power, Bugbo. You know, Kawe Juju Power. And I wanted to highlight this magnificent place of the great people here in the state of Texas, in the deep south of Turtle Island, aka United States. So, although I'm not fully working here, I still wanted to come on my first trip over here to visit family and salute the illustrious Egun of this place. Now best believe if I come back here to do any work, Ifa work, Orisha work, art work, or music, or martial arts training or whatever, I would go find who are the Alagba, who are the chief elders in this place who open the road for all that type of thing, and I would go salute them and thank them, more or less trying to get their blessing before I start working here in their ilu, in their town. So with that being said, I'm going to take a moment. I want to talk to you about this place. This is called Freedom Park. It's in Missouri City. And what happened here, behind me you can see this big beautiful oak tree that's similar to our sacred oak tree in Congo Square in Bobancha. This is very similar experience to Congo Square, although maybe not as populated, but it has some similar aspects. So in 1865, a white overseer and an African man who was enslaved, I'm gonna put the links in the text, you can get the names of some of the folks. They gathered everybody here that was enslaved in the local plantations and they told them that slavery was over underneath this tree. So some of their descendants and whatnot still live in this area. And if not, their direct descendants, other African people still live in this area. And so they have designated this as a place of extreme historical significance, and they call it the Freedom Tree. Ashe. Ashe. As a matter of fact, you will see in the links I'm going to put that one of the chiefs over here, he said that people still can come and hear the spirits celebrating in Jubilee the arrival of Ominira, freedom, here in Missouri City, Texas. Now, of course, Texas is now famous for one of the gifts that it gave to the world, which is Juneteenth, which is in about a week and a few days, which was started not far from here on the coast in Galveston, Texas, a celebration of the emancipation of black people in Texas at that time, because in Texas and Louisiana, they dragged enslavement on for like 2 more years into 1865, after 1863, after the Emancipation Proclamation. So when they found out about it, that enslavement, chattel slavery was over, you know, of course they were joyous, right? Which later evolved into the Juneteenth celebration, which I believe, if I want to try to be historically accurate, but I'm pretty sure that was started in Galveston, Texas. You can Google it, see for yourself. So here we are, underneath the Freedom Tree, the Freedom Trees here, the place where the announcement that our Egun were finally free of the burden of chattel slavery, of the horrific burden of chattel slavery here in Southeast Texas. Iba Ashe. Iba Ashe. Let's call some ovations for our Egun. Omi Tutu. Ona tutu. Ile tutu. Tutu ana tutu ago. Ila rumo juba iwa rumo juba riwa mo juba. Iba she bobo egun. Idile, Texas. Missouri City. Sugarland. Galveston, Texas. Houston, Texas. Iba she bobo egun. Who held it down and kept our generations going through the most horrific form of human oppression and enslavement. I say one of the most horrific forms of oppression and enslavement. I say the Bugbo Egun, Ilu, Missouri City. I say Baini Korea. I say Ruko Babao. I say. So best believe it looks like I might be called. Had the blessing because of the ashe of my son-in-law and daughter, and grandbabies. We might be spending more time over here in Texas. If that's the case, it might evolve and we might start working in the community here. Best believe before I set up anything, I will go find and salute the ILE ЭКО here. Because that's how you do, that's how we do what we do in our culture. You just don't come in like a bull in a china shop and just start doing things. You go and you link in with the people who paved the way. I couldn't even come out here and make this video except for the excellent people of Missouri City and the region who decided to build up their culture here and are in the process of making this a monument. This is all a new effort. So big ups to them. I'll put links. I found another interesting thing I want to touch on and then we're going to close, which is that yesterday we were in Sugarland, Texas. You might have heard about it. Sugarland, Texas. This was a place that has a dastardly history. Of course, it had big plantation there, forcing our Egun to produce sugar for the criminals. But the thing is, after 1865, when chattel slavery was over, then they cooked up a plot to use so-called convict labor to keep the sugar plantation going on with a new form of slavery, which went on at least until 1910. I'm not sure after that if they didn't try to go to like sharecropping labor or something, but they went on to at least 1910 with this so-called convict labor. You can imagine how dangerous that was for us, because since they needed you to work and force, or they didn't need you, but in their lack mentality, they thought they needed you to work, then they would be looking to round up African people to force them into incarceration and then force them on a chain gang. In this case, force them into the sugarcane fields. Sugarland, Texas, very prosperous place today. It's enormously prosperous, at least from the tour I had of it, but it has a dark history. I'll share a video of some of the ecosystem in Sugarland, Texas too. But in the meantime, it is so fantastic that our Egun have paved the way for us through the hardest of times. And now we are thriving in many ways. She Beni Korea, she Amiko Baba Wao, Iba, she Bugbo Egunwa, Iba Turun, Bugbo Egun Ni, Igi Ominira, the Freedom Tree, Missouri City, Texas. She Beni Korea, she Rico Baba Wao. As always, I'm gonna do my Juju Power dance. I say, we are free, Ominira Niwa. Ashe. Juju Power for life.
Always, every day.
Follow with me. El Rio Brazos. The Brazos River. Sugarland, Texas. I assume they call it Sugarland because they had buku sugar plantations around here, working our people to death and making a lot of money. But anyway. Ibulewa. Magnificent.